Okay, welcome to the Connected Networker. My name is Barry Copas. I'm the host and producer of this show where we interview people from around the world in the aspects of influencers, authors, CEOs, and networking organizations. Today, I have David Riklan, president of selfgrowth.com company, and also involved in a company called jvdirectory.com. I'm just going to read a little bit about his background here. David Riklan is the founder of selfgrowth.com, one of the top self-improvement websites on the internet, receiving over 100 million unique visitors since it was created. He's also the co-founder of the joint venture directory, that's jvdirectory.com, a top resource for finding joint ventures, affiliates, and partnerships in the self-improvement industry. He is also the author, coach, and speaker, publishing over 10 books on self-improvement, health, marketing, and sales. 2 of his books, Mastering the World of Selling and Mastering the World of Marketing, were published through one of the top publishing companies in the world, John Wiley and Sons. Welcome, David, to the show.
Thank you, Barry. Excited to be here.
So tell me a little bit more about your background. Like, how did you get involved in JV Directory and networking, and what you did in the past?
Absolutely. I'll take you through. I'll give you the quick version of it. Early on in my career, I went to a course from Dale Carnegie called Effective Speaking in Human Relations. It was a very popular course. And I fell in love with this concept of self-improvement, personal growth. And I got myself on a mission. I bought a website called selfgrowth.com literally in 1995. Wow. And I started publishing information on self-improvement, personal growth. And I was on a mission. And the mission was very simple. I wanted to help people find the right information for them to improve their lives. So whether it's health, finances, relationships, spirituality, business skills, I wanted to help people find whatever they needed. And while I was doing that, I realized I was also on a secondary mission. I was on the mission of helping business owners and coaches and authors and experts, anybody with products and services and self-improvement, get the word out on what they do. And at the end of the day, I ended up being a matchmaker, where I was bringing together people who can help you improve your life or your business with people who needed help. And that's really what I was. I was a connector of sorts. I was this matchmaker. And over time, I realized that within the business community, this broad self-improvement business community, there were people that were connecting to support each other to grow their business. And networking and connections and partnerships were a critical component of how people were succeeding in this broad self-improvement industry. So we launched a community. It's a community, it's a searchable directory, it's a group of people all in this broad self-improvement community who are working together to support each other. And we call it our joint venture community. And the reason we call it that's very simple. We've redefined joint venture, where for us, joint venture is any time that 2 companies are working together to support each other to grow their business. So right now, for example, I almost look at what we're doing as a mini joint venture. You're interviewing me and having me on as a guest and giving me an opportunity to get out in front of your audience. And at the same time, my goal is to provide your audience with good quality information about networking and partnerships and joint ventures. So we're working together to support each other.
So you mentioned that you wrote 10 books. Was that before you launched the directory, or was that in between, whenever you had spare time?
It was before I launched the directory. The joint venture directory is relatively new. It's the last couple of years. And I've been doing internet marketing literally since 1995. So every couple of years I was doing a new book, and we got a lot of books. And to be completely honest about it, I'll only say I wrote, quote unquote, wrote one of the books. The majority of the other books are what are called compilation books, where what I would do is I would find authors to be in the book. So for example, I did a book called Mastering the World of Selling, And I got sales experts to be in the book, or mastering the world of marketing, and I got marketing experts to write chapters in the book. So I published it. My name's on the cover. It's my book, but I don't consider myself the author completely.
Now, another fellow that you work with, Mark Porteous, how did you connect with Mark? Because you have synergy together, it seems, when you work together.
Oh, a ton of synergy. So Mark knew about selfgrowth.com for a long time, and we were at a conference together. We met at the conference. We hit it off. He had an event that I went to, and after speaking for a little while and meeting a number of times, we realized there was a lot of synergy in building together this joint venture directory and a lot of opportunity. So we created it and built it and launched it together.
Now, one thing that you always say about your joint venture directory, you use artificial algorithms to do matchmaking between what people are looking for and what the other people are looking for. Is that ever a unique feature in the world of directories or networking databases?
Well, what we did, we actually did a little differently. We don't automatically connect people. So we don't have an algorithm that automatically connects people. The way we do it is we provide a wide range of searchable fields to enable people to connect with the right person. So I'll give you an example. So in some cases, people want to connect and build a relationship, and they're going to support each other. So what do I mean by support each other? An example might be, you might have an email list and I have an email list. We're in the same business, in the same market, but we have products, we talk to the same people, but our products don't compete. So what we do in that case is I would recommend you to my email list, and you'd send an email recommending me. And you'd be able to find each other in the directory literally by checking off, I want to partner with people through email marketing, supported email marketing, or social media. Or you might just be looking for testimonials for your products. So it enables you to really spell out exactly who you want to connect with and how you want to connect with them.
So when you set up the directory, how did you know what kind of industries to put in the database, like the type of industries you want to attract and be a part of your demographic?
It's very simple. There's this massive, massive world out there of business. Yeah, and the massive world of business includes selling cars. It includes selling cable company, and it includes HBO. It includes thousands and thousands of products and home products. So we picked a niche, and the niche that we picked were businesses in the broad self-improvement industry. And we define self-improvement very, very broadly. Self-improvement includes anybody with a business where they're helping someone improve some facet of their life or their business. So if you're in the business, if you have something to help people improve their health, their relationships, it includes their finances, helps them build their business, helps them spirituality, success. If you have any sort of business that's helping people improve any area of their life, our self-improvement niches for you in the joint venture directory is a good fit. That's the very specific niche that we work with. And the reason is we found people who are in the business of helping people are more open to partnerships to grow their business.
And being that I know that your directory is a global directory because you've got members worldwide, do you have any problem with people coming from countries that their English may not be as good, or do you expect people to have a good understanding of the business language before they become a member or attend some of your events?
So the vast majority of people that are part of our community are from the United States, Canada, UK, Australia, South Africa. So those are the New Zealand, those are the majority. So the primary language is English for sure. So it's so everybody, we do all our communications, everything's done in English. So it's very English speaking right now. We are looking at potential approaches. Do we want to do it in other countries, other languages as a possible future? But right now, very strictly focused English speaking.
And so you've got about 1,500 plus members. So how do you market your organization and what you do, and maybe softgrowth.com company, because I always see that in my emails too. How do you market out there to attract people to come to your events? Because some events have been over 100, 200 people, right? That you've attracted.
We're typically, what we do is we do 2 monthly networking calls. We typically get live on those between 100 to 150 business owners that are live on it. And we do a couple things. One is we own a website called jointventuredirectory.com. It's very simple. You can just search for Joint Venture Directory or go to jointventuredirectory.com. And in that, we created a free report that teaches you 21 ways to use joint ventures, collaborations, and partnerships. So one of the ways people find out about it is they go jointventuredirectory.com, they download the guide, and once they download the guide, we'll also invite them to upcoming networking events that we have. So we let people come to a networking event as either our members come, but we also invite guests. So any of your listeners could come to a guest, but the first step is to go to jointventuredirectory.com, download the guide, and then you'll get information on all our upcoming events to come as a guest.
Now, I've also noticed that you attend other networking organizations or webinars. So, and I've always been told that we don't try to compete against each other. We try to collaborate, or just, something in common we have, connecting people. So I see you do that too. You've attended other events.
Absolutely. So the goal of what we're looking to do with the Joint Venture Directory is build what I describe as an umbrella group to bring everybody together in this broad self-improvement space. So we're happy to partner with anybody. I don't see anybody as a competitor. I literally, when I go out in the world, I don't see competitors at all. All I see is partnerships. All I see is opportunities. Even if you have something that you're doing where you're marketing joint ventures, we're happy to work with anybody to grow and partner with anybody.
So this particular service that you're offering, the jvdirectory.com or Joint Venture Directory, this is completely virtual. So do you actually go out to in-person events and market or promote the directory to people in person so that they can jump on? Because most people in the world are on the internet, right? It's almost a necessity to be online. So you do that to other, like a Chamber of Commerce events or other ways besides online that you market it?
We haven't been doing much of that yet, but we plan on doing that as well. The people are coming back. Obviously with COVID over the last couple of years, there's been issues, and people have been avoiding live events. But now that more and more people are coming back to the live events, I think you'll start seeing us more at the live events, and you'll see more in-person networking and more in-person opportunities.
Because I actually belong to an organization that started out in person locally, and when they went online, they got this virtual audience. So their dilemma is to say, I don't want to discontinue the virtual world to go back to in-person because I lose all those virtual connections I've made, including speakers. And there's another organization I belong to that I attend. They're doing hybrid events. So they'll do some in person in different cities across the US, and then some virtually. So they still keep connection to their audience. But I guess that's a dilemma for a lot of companies that maybe start up during COVID times. How do I keep these people if I want to go in person again versus virtual? Or can I work it both ways?
I'm seeing people do more hybrid events. So a lot of the companies that I see doing in-person events are giving you an option to participate through some sort of streaming capability. So you get you can have the best of both worlds.
But for your events, the only way to get involved is online, right? To your phone, I guess, your computer, or whatever device you have.
Yeah. We do all of our meetings through Zoom right now. So if you have a computer, any kind of device, you can use an iPad, you can use a PC, a Mac, or your iPhone, a Droid, any device that you have that enables you to access Zoom, you can access our events for.
So when it comes to feedback from first-time attendees or maybe regular attendees, do they give you feedback on how they like your organization, what you're offering, the services, the way it's set up, the website?
Absolutely. We get a ton of feedback from people. And here's the interesting thing that I've seen in terms of networking. So there's a couple of pieces to the puzzle in terms of networking. The first thing we're looking to do is connect like-minded people who can support each other. So that's the first goal. And we do that through live events. We do it through a searchable directory. We actually describe our directory as LinkedIn on steroids for the self-improvement industry. That's and the goal is to make it as easy as possible for people to connect. But that's a first step. So what we do at the live events is we give people multiple opportunities to literally or figuratively raise their hand and say, hey, Barry, I see what you're doing. I think would be a good match. We can work together. Let's schedule a call. So the goal with these networking events is very simple. You're not getting a lot of personal one-on-one time with people, but you have an opportunity to meet and identify multiple people who are a good fit. And then I found the real power in the networking, and probably one of the weaknesses of almost all of us is the follow-up. And you might have some perspective on this as well. So it's all well and good to go to an event and to meet either a potential partner or a potential client. But if you don't put in the effort to follow up with them, to email them, to reach out to them on social media, to schedule a call with next steps, nothing's going to happen. And what we found is the people who are actively following up are getting tremendous value from our joint venture directory. Tremendous value. And it's a relatively low investment for the year. It's a $697 investment for the year to get in on our community. But we found with that, as I said, you can connect with folks and find good people, but the power is all in the follow-up. And one of the things we're always looking to do is figure out how to facilitate follow-up. And maybe you have some suggestions. I'd love to hear any on how do you get people, even once they connect, to follow up and take action.
Well, I know that I usually put things in my calendar to do a Zoom call with somebody, and I set up a date and time. So that's a good way to follow up by Calendly. I use the Calendly program.
Sure.
And I've been doing that more often now to get people to do a Zoom chat with me of half an hour, whatever. And so that's working very well because I got their email. I said, well, here's my Calendly link, schedule a call with me. And all of a sudden I got dates and times, either for podcast guests or just people that want to Zoom chat with me to find out more what I'm about. Like, how can I help them?
Right.
One other thing too that I've noticed a lot of events I've attended, they always say, if you can give referrals, that's always good. Instead of it's not about me getting you to buy my product or service, how can I help you by referring you to somebody else? Like I say, if I want to connect with a film person out there, do you know anybody that's in the film industry that would like to be on my film podcast?
Right.
You might say, yes. Oh, could you refer my name to them and see if they'd be interested to be a guest? And I'm not selling. It's just a referral. So, because I've been to a lot of different events over the last 2 years or 3 years, and some of the events I attend, they don't like selling. If you're going to sell a product with a price and everything to me, how do you know if I want to buy it?
Right.
So when it comes to partnership, you have to make sure that it's a complement, right? And it's a fit in order for me to get involved. Because if somebody's in real estate, I have a knowledge in real estate, why would I want to partner with somebody in real estate? I'm not interested in buying a house. I'm not selling a house.
Right.
And I live in Canada, right? You're in Boston, correct? Massachusetts?
I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey. So that's quite far away. So if you were in real estate and I'm here, well, how do we make a connection? Because I don't know anybody in real estate, and I'm not coming to New Jersey to buy a house. I don't know anybody in New Jersey who wants to buy a house. So that wouldn't be a good fit.
Sure.
And so you're always looking for to say, what do you do? Publicity, media, or film, author, writing books, or you have connection to me, get on podcasts, then that might be a good fit because that's the way I work it when I meet people, right? I said, what do you want from me? Did you write a book? Yes, I did. Have you been on a podcast? No. Would like to be on a podcast. So then you get some relationship going, right?
Sure.
You get some collaboration going.
Makes total sense.
So that's what I noticed about your directory. And I like your directory because the way you set up all the fields. I was a member at one time, right? It's out of my budget, so I couldn't afford it. But I like the way you got the thing set up with fields. So you check off, I want to be on podcast, check. I'm writing a book, author, check. And then it goes, somebody else says, I'm looking for authors to be on, and somehow it matches, right? Somehow
Sure.
your system matches, right? It's
Well,
somehow
you do a search. You search for folks, and you can literally spell out who you want to find and connect with, and it will bring with specificity. It will help you identify the right people.
And one other thing I noticed too about your directory, you allow people to put events that they're hosting in your directory, right? If you got a directory, put the date, time, and about the
Sure.
event, and you can get all the members, probably not non-members, to know about the event. If it's in a city, wherever it is, it's online, or if it's in a city, right?
Yeah. So what we do is we let people provide information about events that they're hosting where they're looking for partnerships to support them. So if you have an event coming up where you're looking to bring more people in and you're looking for partners, we have an event calendar, and what we've developed is really a community of people that are supporting each other. So as I mentioned, definitely self-improvement. So if you run a local auto mechanic shop, or you're a mortgage broker, or as you mentioned, or you might sell real estate, that's not the fit for us. But if you have anything where you're helping someone build their business skills, or personal finances, or health, or relationships, and you're looking to connect with people, the joint venture directory is a great place to find supportive people that you can cross promote with and support each other, for you can both grow your business.
So when it comes to testimonials from people, have you ever got testimonials said, because of your joint JV directory, I got so many contacts, would resulted in sales and profits? Have you ever got that kind of feedback?
Oh, absolutely. We got a ton of feedback like that. And that's what we're really looking for. I think one of the folks that you know is Gary Rogers, who we do work with. And I love Gary. And he's gotten many, many clients through us and supported many people. So we have many people. The goal is very simple when you join our community. We want you to get a many time return on your investment. That's it. Well, if you're not getting business through us, you're not in the right place. We want to help you get business, because that's what it's all about. It's nice to connect with people. It's nice to have people in your life, but we're all running businesses. And the way we gauge whether we're successful at business is how much profitable business we're bringing. Are we generating income? Are we generating revenue? So it's really all about bringing in clients and customers. And that's a focus of all of our members. We're all aware of that. There are times when you want to support each other in terms of building business where it might not be immediate in terms of business generation, but in the back of our minds, we're all looking to grow our business and generate revenue.
Now, another unique feature I found out about your group, which I don't think I've seen anywhere else, is the thing you call power networking. So no matter how many people are on the call, you'll go through the 1 minute of every single person to get them on stage, spotlighted, right? To give their talk of 1 minute, whatever they want to talk about in that 1 minute. And that's a very unique feature. I've never seen that anywhere else.
Well, one of the things that we did at the beginning, you bring together 100, 150 people in a short period of time, and you want to make as many connections as possible. How do you do that? So we realized that if you wanted to go deep at all, you need to spend at least a few minutes with people. So we have two sections of our networking. One is roughly 40 minutes, and we do group networking. So we break people into groups of 6 to 8 people, and we give everybody 5 minutes to talk about who they are and who they want to connect with. But that only allows you to connect with 6 to 8 other people in the industry. And as I mentioned on these calls, we're getting 100, 150 people. So we were struggling with how to get you out in front of more people. So we have these two sections. The first is the small group networking. And the second part of it is what we mentioned called power networking, where we give each person 1 minute to talk about what they do and who they want to connect with. And then people can raise their hand and say, hey, Barry, I love what you're doing. I want to connect with you. So it's very, very powerful, and then it gives you an opportunity to really connect very quickly with a lot of people.
So you also mentioned that all those power networking 1 minutes are recorded. Do you have archival of all the other ones, or do you only keep the current ones?
We have all the back ones. So if you missed any of these networking events, you can come back. You can go to our website, it's jvdirectory.com, joint venture directory. Once you're a member, you can log in and you can review all these previous power networking sessions. And you can literally go through and listen to hundreds and hundreds of people to find out who you want to connect with.
So are these recordings searchable at all? If you're looking for a certain topic or person that maybe you come across the name and you maybe missed their 1 minute speech?
No, it's a good idea. So what you'd have to do is search for the person themselves. And we have an option where people in their profile can link to a video describing what they do. So we give that as an option, but it's not searchable right now. But it's a good idea.
So you mentioned that you're with selfgrowth.com. That's a company, your company, and JV Directory. So is it part-time each one that you're doing? Because you must do other things beyond jvdirectory.com.
Yeah, so those are my two main areas that I focus on. So I'm still running selfgrowth.com, and I have a team of folks that are helping support that. And in addition, with the help of Mark Porteous, we co-run the joint venture directory. So I'm balancing the time between the two.
And I also noticed too that you actually have different webinars that special speakers will come in on the non-networking days and give talks on different topics related to small business.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we realize as part of the community is, in order to be successful with a small business, or any size business, you need to constantly learn. So what we do is we bring in experts. So we'll bring in an expert on LinkedIn, for example, that we work with. We bring in another expert on how to build landing pages, on how to create freebies. So we bring in all these different experts on different topics. So if you can't make the networking and you still want to learn, you get access to our library of educational calls, the training programs. And that's all included as part of your membership into the joint venture directory.
Oh, 1 second, I just have to check. Okay. Okay. Oh, and okay, we got 10 minutes left. One question I wanted to ask you final here. You also mentioned, and a lot of organizations have this, an affiliate program. If people want to do an affiliation of that, promoting yours on their website or their social media, can you explain a little about your affiliate program?
Absolutely. One of the things I mentioned with the joint venture directory is we want to provide value and kind of cross promotion and partnerships. So one of the things that we do for anybody who recommends our joint venture directory is we have something called it's a referral called an affiliate program, where if you become an affiliate of ours and recommend it, for every member that joins and becomes a paying member, we pay out 40% commission, or 40% affiliate commission. So anybody who wants to recommend it, who's a member, you can become an affiliate. And this way you do a couple things. One is you can bring in a larger community. So the more people that we have, the better for everybody. So you can help us build the community. The second thing is you can earn some extra income. So it's a great way to earn extra income as well.
And is that program available only to members or non-members, or how does that work?
So it's available to all of our members. So once you're a member, you're automatically accepted into our affiliate program. We do make some exceptions, and people can contact me if they think that's a good fit and they want to do something. I'll be happy to give out my email address to contact me. Or you can just email. I'll give out mark@jvdirectory.com and say I'm interested in being an affiliate. So that's an approach as well. Happy to help you there.
So when it comes to social media, are you on all the social media channels with JV Directory or even your selfgrowth.com company?
So if you look at the world of social media, there's hundreds of social media platforms. I don't know anybody on all of them. Anybody in all of them. So you need to really pick and choose where you're going to focus. So two of the main places that we're active on, both with selfgrowth.com as well as Facebook, selfgrowth.com as well as the joint venture directory, are Facebook and LinkedIn. So those are two areas that we're active in. I also have a good following on Twitter. We have about 60,000 people that follow us on Twitter. So those are the two main places. I dabble in Instagram, and I've done some stuff on some other ones, but those are kind of the main ones. So it's really for us, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram are the main ones, but there's so many places to market on social media. And it's really a matter, and the way I look at it, you need to have an understanding and clarity on where your audience is. That's the big question relative to social media. You need to figure out where your audience, and then you just want to be where your audience is. You want to be in front of your audience. And that's really the power of social media.
Oh, let me just check something here. Okay. So in closing, could you give any JV tips for somebody that doesn't know anything about joint venture directory, how they would start out to find a JV partner?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, the main thrust of it is very simple. You're supporting each other to help do one of two things. At the end of the day, you want to help each other get business. And one of the best ways to help people get business is by helping them get in front of a larger audience. So in many cases, you want to help people get in front of a larger audience, and they help you. And that's a good part of what this is about. So the crux of doing partnerships or joint ventures is in the word partnership. So if it's a partnership, it means there's a give and take. Partner A, Barry, partner B, David. Barry needs to figure out what he's bringing to the table. David needs to figure out what he's bringing to the table. So I'd say that the big piece of the puzzle is two things. Understand what you're looking for help with. An example would be, do you want someone to send an email out recommending you? Do you want someone to interview you on a podcast or interview you on a Facebook Live? You need to figure out what you need help with. That's step one. Step two is you need to figure out what value you're bringing to the table. How can you help other people? Can you promote them by email? Can you promote them by social media? Can you be an affiliate of theirs? And one of the things I want to piggyback on that you mentioned is providing connections. So sometimes you might not have direct audience that you can help someone directly, but you might know someone who can help that person. And all you really need to do is give them a connection. So in essence, you can make a connection to someone, and that connection can help them with their business. So it could be something as simple as you have a list of possible people to connect them to. Or one of the things we mentioned is testimonials. So one of the best tools for selling any product or service is social proof. Testimonials are an example of social proof. So one of the things you can always do for people is review their product and give them a testimonial. And that's really, really powerful to help someone with their business with a testimonial. It's great. So the two kind of keys to the partnerships and networking and all this stuff is very simple. As I mentioned, it's understand what you're looking for. And I think a lot of people know you're looking for customers, you're looking for someone who's going to buy your product, you're looking for an audience. And for me, in some cases, more importantly, you need to understand what you bring to the table. The more clarity you have on what you bring and the value you bring to someone, the more likely they're going to want to work with you. It's literally that simple. If you have a lot of clarity and can say, hey, Jennifer, I can help you with A, B, C, and D, guess what? Jennifer is much more likely to want to support me. It's literally as simple as that. It's what I describe, or it's been described as the law of reciprocity. The more you support others, the more other people will be willing to support you.
So you mentioned that you do these two webinar events. Do we have any more coming for September, or we're already into October for your next event?
So our next event's coming up September 28th, and that's specifically for speakers. So every month we do 2 live network events. We do one for the whole broad self-improvement industry, one for everybody in the industry. So we do one very broad one. And then each month we rotate through different niches. So as I mentioned on the 28th, and you can just go to jointventuredirectory.com. If you sign up for our free ebook on ways to do joint ventures, we'll send you information about our networking events. But the one on the 28th coming up in September is for speakers. So if you're a speaker, obviously you speak, that's what you do, part of your living, you speak, Barry, for a living. If you're a speaker or you support speakers, you'll want to come to that. But in addition to the one on speakers, we also do one for coaches. Every 4 months, we'll do one for coaches. We do one for authors. That's also part of our niche. We do one for healers. We're going to be doing ones for marketers. So regardless of what niche, if you fall into this broad self-improvement arena, we'll help you find people to connect with.
So are your events like every 2 weeks then? After September, would there be one in October?
Yeah, so there's 2 every month. We do 2 every month. It's not every other week. It's 2 a month.
2 a month. So after that one, you'll get into October, and then you'll do another.
Then 2 in December, 2 in January. So we do 2 events every single month.
Okay.
Yep, 2 live events. And as I mentioned, it's primarily for our members, but you can bring, I'm inviting folks today, part of your audience that could come in as a guest, and you can see what we're doing and do a lot of the networking. There's a lot of extra benefits to being a member, but we do let people come in as a guest to get a feel for it and see what we're doing.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank David Riklan for talking with us today and giving us some good insight into JV partnerships and network. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much for the information.